Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so welcome to Bhaktivedanta Manor. So we have Bhagavad Gita class now, and we have Vrinda Vilasani Mataji. She is a very learned devotee. She has been serving here for many, many, many years. So she is going to share some message and insights of Bhagavad Gita with you all. So the class will start now, and then at 7 o'clock there will be arti for the deities. And then 7:30 the curtains will shut, and then there will be, deities will change their outfits, and then 9 o'clock is the last arti. So sometimes people come at 8 o'clock and they say, oh, why can't I get darshan? I said, well, when you're getting changed, you want people peeping. Probably not. Or sometimes, like in a quarter to 7 or something, the curtains will shut. They'll be serving bhog for Krishna. 6 times a day they cook and serve for Krishna. And sometimes people come while Krishna is eating and the curtains are shut, and they say, oh, can we just have a look? I said, well, if everyone's watching him while he's eating, he might get indigestion, you know. So then we have our timings, and then nice. So anyway, so you please pay attention to Vrinda Vilasani Mataji's Bhagavad Gita class, and also you can ask. You're welcome to ask questions. You know, she loves questions. So Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So let's all say His Grace Godruma Prabhu ki. He's like part of furniture in this manner, you know, rendering services to Shishi Radha Gokulananda from age of 16 or 17. Comes from a very exalted background. His dad was also serving, you know, in a temple in South Holland years back, when we probably didn't even realize that, you know, there's Krishna consciousness and everything else around us. So thank you all for joining. We're going to start with little kirtan, little prayers to focus our mind, because as we all know, this is Kali Yuga, very difficult to hold focus to anything. So I'll be speaking from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verse 30. Those of you who've got your phone, we can then talk. And don't worry about it. You don't need to know Sanskrit. You don't need to know much. It's just going to be like interactive. We'll be talking about it and see what we can try and absorb and make most of it by being here. No doubt you guys are all here because of, you know, somebody or the others either lost someone or to pay respects to ancestors. Let's just all focus ourselves, our minds, in remembering Krishna and remembering our loved ones. And we will just start off with that in a minute. So let's just do little prayers, like I said, Radha Madhava. Thank you so much. And if you'd rather come this side, then you're most welcome to as well. But I'll try and not forget about you guys, and I'll try and keep looking this side as well. But please feel free to come this side if you prefer. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Please, on top of your voices, let's try and please Krishna. Let's not worry about how we sound, yeah? Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. This is too high key note for me, so I'm going to drop down again. Low. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. It's too high. Jaya Gopi Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandan Braj Janaranjana. Yashodanandan Braj Janaranjana. Jamuna Tira Banchari. Jamuna Tira Banchari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Come on everyone, your chance to sing, mine to listen. Good. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokul Nand Radha Gokul Nand Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokul Nand Radha Gokul Nand Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Jaya Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jaya Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev. Bolo Shri Shri Radha Gokulanand Bhagwan Ji ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman Ji ki. So thank you all for coming, and a big round of applause for, is it Narayan? Narayan, he comes from Portsmouth, right? All the way from there, he's been singing and entertaining and serving Radha Gokulananda for an hour and a half or couple of hours. So big round of applause there. And look, he's a young lad. So we'll start off, just small prayers again. I'm sure you're all familiar with this. Let's just put your hands together as we pray. Before we read Bhagavad Gita, we do these three mantras. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, today's verse we'll be doing is chapter 4, which is called Transcendental Knowledge. So it's a difference, we'll explain in a minute. So it's about transcendental knowledge. It's not something that you've probably studied in universities or colleges or you're in schools and nobody teaches it. And it's a shame. But luckily for us, Srila Prabhupada's written it, so now we can acquaint ourselves with it, because this is the foremost and the most important knowledge that we'll all be using, besides all that we do studies, right? So I'll be reciting the Sanskrit verse. Don't worry, you can try, and it's just literally going to take 2 or 3 minutes, and after that we'll be back on to English. And those of you who know, please feel free to recite. If you can't, then it's okay as well. Okay, and then we'll do all the meanings in English. So So it goes like this. Sarve api eti yagya vidho. Sarve api eti yagya vidho. Yagya shapita kalmasha. Yagya shishtamrita bhujo. Yanti brahma sanatanam. Sarve piyete yagya vido. Yagya shapita kalmasha. Yagya shishtamrita bhujo. Yanti brahma sanatanam. So, translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki. All these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice become cleansed of sinful reactions, and having thus tasted the nectar of the results of sacrifices, they advance towards the supreme eternal atmosphere. And purport by His Divine Grace, from the foregoing explanation of different types of sacrifice, namely sacrifice of one's possession, study of Vedas, philosophical doctrines, performances of yoga system, it is found that the common aim of all is to control the senses. Sense gratification is the root cause of all material existence. Therefore, unless and until one is situated on the platform, apart from sense gratification, there is no chance of being elevated to eternal platform of full knowledge, full bliss and full life. This platform is in the eternal atmosphere or Brahman atmosphere. All the above mentioned sacrifices help one to become cleansed of sinful reactions of material existence. By this advancement in life, not only one does become happy and opulent in this life, but also at the end he enters into the eternal kingdom of God, either merging into impersonal Brahman or associating with Supreme Personality of Godhead of Krishna. So this is what Lord Krishna is speaking to Arjuna about. So let's talk. It's talking about sacrifices. So you've made sacrifice of your time. Where are you from? And tell me why you're visiting today. All the way from India. Jay. Yeah, just be yourself, and that's the best person you can be. Of course, absolutely. So all the way from India. What about you, Mataji, and you, Prabhuji? Where are you from? Are you from here? Whereabouts? London is huge. Huh? Kenton. They all our devotees are in Kenton, right? Who's here from Wembley? Anyone? Oh wow. What's your name, Prabhu? Jay. Oh wow. Jay is. Okay, nice. And what's your reason for being here today? Service. Nice. This is it. Best thing. And you raised your hand, my son. What's your name then? Arif. Arif. Oh wow, that's a nice name, but I don't know the meaning. Do you? Mummy knows. New life. Oh wow. Sure, you are a new life and our new hope. And that you're going to be taking over and becoming a devotee later on. And you'll be teaching everybody about the beauty of Krishna, the knowledge about Krishna, and how to fulfill all our responsibilities here, but not losing the focus of the real purpose of this life. Yes? Okay, now I shall ask you, why did you raise your hand? What were you going to tell me? Shh, can I please ask people to be speak in little hush-hush sounds, please? We've got a young Arab speaking here. It's your birthday. Oh, wow. Who's? Are you guys twins? Oh, Jay. This is brilliant. Okay, shall we just do our Krishna conscious way of wishing them happy birthday? Come on. What are the chances that we were going to have you twins, Arif, and what's your name? Huh? Eva. Okay, Eva and Arif are here. It's their birthday, hence the reason they're visiting. So let's just do one thing. Hare Krishna to you. Come on, everyone, join me. Hare Krishna to you. Hare Krishna, dear Arif and Eva. Hare Krishna to you. So very many happy returns of the day to you. And we ask Lord Krishna to bless you, which is what your mom has done, brought you to the best place ever. Because blessings don't go wasted anywhere. And guess what? You will also be needing to be responsible. If mommy one day doesn't want to come, what are you going to say? No, come on, mom. You need to then bring her back. Especially when we get old fogies, then we don't know how to drive, then you guys would need to bring mommy to where she can make and fulfill her life and learn more about how to have successful life, yeah? So today, that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about. Yesterday, Rajesh Krishna here, he's my other half. He gave a class about verse 4.29. He was being a lazy, he should have worn dhoti, but because he just finished work, come at around 4:30. Here we are. So thank you all for attending. And the verse he spoke about yesterday, and just to give you a little background, is here we're talking about not mundane knowledge, but transcendental knowledge. No one teaches us that besides temple. You know? So what he was talking about airs, how yogis who go to Himalayas, how people go to lengths and lengths to sacrifice so that they can actually sacrifice their enjoyment so they can gain control over senses. He mentioned, Rajesh Krishna mentioned about prana, apana. I mean, we all know, you know, because of all this pranayam and who knows what I'm talking about. What is this? Alom Vilom, right? They all know. Why do we need it? And we think we laugh, but it's important because our body is composed of 5 elements. What is it? Earth, water, fire, ether. What's that, Rajesh? Air. So air, it forms an important part of our life. And like he explained, when people are running, what happens? Yeah, there's 5 types of airs here. We don't want to go into that. That's a bit boring. But the important thing to remember is that air is part of our body. So when we're running, the air we have is, right? When we are doing, you feel peace, calm. You want to get calm. You want to feel yourself. When we want to meditate, it's important that you are peaceful. And people want to become peaceful. And then, so one has to sacrifice lots. I mean, your mom sacrificed a lot, right? When she's raising you, and your fathers. I've got nothing against, you know, men, women, all same. Srila Prabhupada never demarcated. He just said, we are all souls, right? Whether you're in a woman's body, you're still trying to do the best for your child. Whether you're in man's body, you're still trying to do the best for your child or your society or everywhere else. So it's all about, they're talking about so many lengths people go to, especially yogis, to actually sacrifice, right? We all know, like as a student, if you want to be gaining degrees, what do you have to do? Do you have to do studies? Yes? When you go to school, 6 hours, you have to be disciplined, whether you like it or not, right? So similarly, we slowly from when we are born like an animal where we don't know any rules, regulations, we slowly by following rules and regulations from an animalistic propensities, we become into more of a human perspective, right? We can have sense control. We don't want to throw tantrums. We want to behave. We, in society, we know how to deal with ourselves. And talking about sacrifices, I would like to take name of a special lady in my life and a very special person in my life. And sorry, Rajesh, to disappoint you, that person, special person is not you. It's my Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. I don't know if you've known, you can always Google, you can hear his kirtan. He's very, very, he took it upon himself and he sacrificed his time on Rajesh and I when he gave us Diksha, or the first initiation, which is akin to being born again. And the special lady in my life is, of course, my mother. Guess what? Like Eva and Arif, it's her birthday as well. So she is 82 today. 82. So, yes, her name is Satya Devi, or they call her Asha Rani, whichever way. So I am thankful. We need to be grateful. We need to be thankful for people. And I'm sure most of you are here because in past, you have lost the loved ones. Today is also the last Shraddh ceremony. And all these people who have sacrificed their lives, when they were alive, they were trying to earn something for you, or they were trying to shower you with love. They were trying to sacrifice in one way or the other to give us the life that we are living today. And hence the reason you, of course, want to be thankful and you bringing stuff and all these things that they do in Shraddh. I mean, one point I'd like to make is people who have got their parents and people who've got their ancestors, try and look after them whilst they're alive. It's nice that we do what we do and what our rituals are and what our paramparas are, but the best thing is to obviously be able to look after them whilst they are with you. And otherwise, like you say, you will be praying to Krishna for, that they always be blessed and they be in the lotus feet of Krishna. So anyway, talking about sacrifices. Now we all know how degraded this age of Kali is where we are. In a way, we are very lucky because we've had association of Srila Prabhupada, and Mahaprabhu has only been, 500 years ago. Mahaprabhu is none other but the combined form of Radha and Krishna, and his picture is there in the middle. He is called Golden Avatar. So he has sacrificed and he has given us the biggest like he said, the yagya for this Kali Yuga, in this age of Kali, is just Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam eva kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Kalau Nasti, Kalau Nasti Arti Gati Anyatha. So there is no other means, but for this Yuga, it's only Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nam. So you guys can give pat on your back to yourselves. You guys have taken time out to be here. You could have gone to all these, there's so much variety out there. And not forgetting the sacrifices that are all being made, in this age, like I was mentioning, this is age of Kali. And what I said, it's unfortunate as well because there is a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam. It says, Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.10. And it goes like this. Prayanal payusa sabhya kalav asmin yuge jana manda sumanda matayo manda bhagya upadrita. O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. We don't know how quickly life passes us by, right? So I know it says men here, so ladies, please don't feel that it doesn't relate to us. If you're anything like me, when I first studied this, Shishi Radha Gokulanand Bhagwan Ji Ki, I thought, oh great, it only relates to men, nothing to do with us women, eh? We women get trashed a lot of times, so sometimes it's nice to see it's all about men, eh? However, the reality is what I mentioned. Srila Prabhupada sees us as souls. Irrespective of the soul's dharma is to please Lord Krishna, right? So this is the reason, as you can see, I would like to like us all to pray for all these soldiers who are losing their life, right? We all know what's going on. As if Ukraine and Russia wasn't bad enough, we've got another fight going on. It's because people in this age, generally, they are misguided and they are quarrelsome and they want to fight. They don't want to sit down, talk, sort it all out. No, it's all about just fighting. And look how many lives. People who have done nothing wrong, unfortunately, they all get, it's so hard. It's so hard to see what goes on in this world. But luckily for us, Srila Prabhupada has talked about some solution here. So it's not all about problems. We're not going to go and talk about all the problems here, because he mentions that in that purport about everything stems from sense gratification, it says. So I want to tell you a story. Who likes stories? Who likes to go to wedding? Anyone? Good. So I'll tell you one story. This is in slightly olden age, or places where there is only, some places where there is no other means of going but the boats. So this is a story of a boat keeper, or the boat guy who was going to be his profession was to transfer people from A to B. And there was a wedding party that wanted to be in the other side of river, but their ceremony was going to start really early in the morning, so they thought, like we all think, okay, let's take a night flight. Who goes to India thinking, I'll work Monday to Friday, Friday night I want to catch the flight, whilst I'm sleeping, voila, I'm there in India, right? We want to make most of our times, so we get more time to spend with the loved ones. We all do that, right? So they had the similar sort of thinking. So they sat with all their belongings, and the boat man, poor thing, he kept rowing it all the way, all night long. And as the sun started coming out, beautiful light. You know how Krishna's made this such a beautiful sight. When sun rises, it is so nice. Those of you who rise little early would know. All pinkish glow and, lovely. And then, to someone's nightmare, the guys who were going to be on a wedding party and had to be in that thing, they realize that all the surroundings around them are exactly the same. So the guy has been rowing all night, but guess what? The boat guy forgot to take the rope off for the boat. So didn't he do all the hard work? All the hard work he did. And yet, we didn't even move an inch. And of course, they had to be somewhere for the wedding. So I don't think on those days they had phones or video calls. You could say, sorry, we tried, but look what's happened. But whatever happened to them and however one feels, but one thing we don't want to let ourselves go through is this, that we have been given this human form of life, which is very rare. After I don't know how many Junies, like they say, what do they say? 840 million types of species or types. I mean, if some of you guys who've studied botany or zoology would know that even if you go to insects, then you go to start from amoeba, like one-cell organisms, to micro-cell organisms. Then, people like us, people like animals, flowers, look, so many varieties. And we could have been anything from all of that. And finally, we have done some pious activities for which we ended up getting this body. And you would have heard, Roy, I'm sure, sorry, Rasika Prabhu, what did you hear when you first started coming to this temple? What did you hear about the body this particularly? You're not this body? Yes, that's fine. So that's a big round of applause for our Rasika Shekhar Prabhu here. He's initiated by His Holiness Kadamba Kanana Swami Maharaj, very, very gentle soul who left us. But you are not this body. Hang on, what are we talking about? We are this body, right? What kind of thing is that to say? But Srila Prabhupada is not necessarily going to say things that you and I would like to hear, because then there is no point. He wants us to know, he wants us to learn. So what's he doing? He is teaching us, even though it's difficult for us to hear, because if a body, God forbid, like somebody who has, say, left their body, or somebody who's died, if you left their body, would it grow? Would anything else happen to it? We all know. If a child has got spirit inside them, or the soul as we call it, or the Atma, the spiritual energy grows, the child grows. The moment the spiritual energy or the Atma or the soul leaves us, this body, this in material world, is just going to decay. It's not going to grow. It's not going to show you all those 4 or 5 signs of people who are, like how they grow, the growth and decay and all of those things that we learn about. So, what can we do solution-wise to try and not fall into trap of wasting our life? Because would you like to be like that boatman who'd worked all through the night, but do you think the wedding party would have paid him? Maybe they would have paid him with lots of this, yeah? And lots of ranting and lots of anger. So those are the things. So the important thing for us is that we need to cleanse our heart, cleanse our mind, to control our senses, like Lord Krishna said here. That is the most difficult thing to do. And for us to control our senses, it's not easy. But what he has said is, there are various forms he's mentioned. He's mentioned Ashtanga Yoga. He's mentioned here from foregoing explanations of different sacrifices, namely one's possessions. So a lot of people, as you know, they give in charity. So I don't know whether you've studied in Bhagavad Gita, it teaches you the lower rungs or the ladder of yoga ladder. So when you are slightly on the lower one, then you give charitable things. But there's a lot of people who would open hospitals. There are lots of people who would open dharamshalas. They would open all sorts from their hard-earned money. That's their way of sacrificing for betterment of other humans, right? One of the girls I know, mother, she lost her 3-year-old. It's very hard, even to think. And she lost it to fire. And when she went to Vrindavan, and she actually, as a parent, you never want your children dying before you. It's the hardest thing ever. You never, ever recover from that. But anyway, bless her, she's coping all mostly okay, and, with Krishna's mercy. Unless you become Krishna's devotee and you engage all your senses in serving Krishna, it is very difficult to control your senses. So she opened a place where people can get free cold water. So those of you who have been to Vrindavan, who's been to Vrindavan? Come on, tell me. That's one place you all have to go. Not so many hands, right? Yeah, so next time you go to holiday to your moms or dads or your grandparents, anywhere in India, in North India, near Delhi, so about 2 hours drive, 2 to 3 hours drive, is some lovely village, Vrindavan. And why is it special? What is so special about Vrindavan? Yes, so Mathura is where Krishna was born, and Vrindavan is where his pastimes were happening. So please, in your lifetime, at least make a vow to go there, to at least walk on the same sort of streets that Krishna walked on. Isn't it amazing that we can still do it? 5,000 years ago, Krishna came. And there's still those little bricks you can see in Yashoda, Nanda Degao, and all the other stuff. When you have chance, just go there one time. So anyway, what was I talking about? I was talking about, go on. Yes. So she did a sacrifice by her money. See how good Arav is? Because he is here, very much present in mind. And this is all about mindfulness these days. When you go to work, there's so many sessions about mindfulness. And look, where is my mind? But I was just testing you, Arav. And if you believe that, you believe anything. Now, good man. So basically, she sacrificed some of her money so people can have access to cold water. So similarly, people have hospitals, this, that, the other, so they can be useful. And it's nice feeling when you help everyone. That's how it makes us feel human, right? So there are various ways to help humanity. And there is various ways. But what about helping ourselves? Because if we can help ourselves, we can help others. Would you believe? Would you agree? If you can't help your own self, and you try to say to others, hang on a minute, I know how to help you, are they going to laugh at you? They're going to say, hang on, sort yourself out, mate. Then let's talk about others, right? So, for our good kismat, our great luck, that Prabhupada ji at the back, what did he do? He decided to open and introduce us to real Krishna consciousness. And it is so scientific because look how it matters. When we are soul, we talked about that. You are then, when you become this body, you become, you have to have, mind, intelligence, ego. So there's a subtle body and then there is body. How do I explain it to kids? So when you've got a feeling, like say air is passing by you, you can't see it, right? But you can feel the air on your face. You can see it in leaves. So not everything we can see, but we still know it's air, right? Similarly, we have something called soul in all of us. But that soul, because it's been from previous so many millions of births that we've had, it actually retains, how can I call it? So ego, lust, anger, greed, lots of things which are undesirable. We all have propensity to cheat, right? I said to you, by regulated life, devotees tend to demarcate themselves from animal. Because animals are able to sleep, animals are able to mate, animals are able to eat. They do pretty much everything like we do. So what is it that's different? We can regulate ourselves, and we can then make success of this life by regulating our habits, our controlling our senses due to regulation. So what Krishna is saying here is you can do the hard way or you can do the easy way. So he said yoga. So if you want to do yoga, the best yoga he's mentioned is in verse, one of the best yogis is in chapter 6, verse 47. Yeah, so he's saying who is the best yogi? And he says, yoginam api sarvesham madgatenteratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam samayukta tamomata. And of all the yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself and renders transcendental loving service to me, he is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is highest of all. That is my opinion. And then in another verse, I think it's 4.9 actually. So he's basically giving us the solution, which is bhakti yoga. So we don't need to go through all these hardships to remember, to do these things, that things. All we need to do is become and render some service to Krishna. And you may have a photo of Krishna in your house, or you may not have a photo of Krishna. There's plenty here. There's deities of Krishna you can take, because Krishna's saying here, this is Krishna's words. So let's hear. He says, Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tattvata tvaktva deham punarjanma neti mam eti sarjana. He's saying, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance. My, by the way, is not mine, not Vrindavilasini. It's my, meaning Krishna. It's with capital if you see Bhagavad Gita. And it's saying, my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains what? My eternal abode, O Arjuna. So he is giving you solution here. If you were interested, what can you do? It's easy. So what they're saying is you have to focus on what is important. And our mind has always got habits of going to a lot of useless things that we don't want to remember, but guess what? Mind always goes there. You try hard not to let people say if somebody's hurt you, and when you see them, you have to really control yourself not to feel the negativity, because then you're punishing yourself. Like, I got hurt one time, and I thought to myself, I'll be damned if I allow them to hurt me more. One time they got to hurt me, that's exactly it. Then now you treat them exactly like how you would see anybody else. Why? Because who's heard of His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj? Radhanath Maharaj said that he gave us analogy of coal. So when you're angry with someone, he likened it to be holding a coal in your hand. So the person who's holding the coal, what would happen to their hands? Any guesses? Yes. You're my favorite man now. You seem to be knowing all the answers. It will burn your hand. Would you agree, Eva? What do you think, son? Do you think it'll burn your hand if you were to hold a coal or fire? Yes, good. So we all know that. So why would we want to do that? So it'll burn your hand, and the person that you think you're angry with, he doesn't even know. Why do we want to treat our heart as a bin? We want to keep our heart, especially for nice peoples that mean something to us in our life. Like Shishi, Radha, Gokul and Nanda. Isn't he so pretty? And that's not the only reason why we worship him. He's also all-powerful. He's also all-wealthy. He's got 6 opulences. Then you become Bhagwan. So there's so many nicer things that happen to us in our life. Let's hold on to those thoughts, right? Let's hold on to those things and not worry too much about 1 or 2 things which have gone little wrong in our life, because Krishna has a way of teaching us. He doesn't necessarily have to give us everything we want, because that would be disastrous. If your son said to you, can you buy me gun, mom, would you buy it? If he said he's too good anyway. He's never going to ask. But if he was to ask for, like a lot of people say, Lord Shiva, because he was able to drink poison, although they want to imitate him. Does anybody say, oh, give me poison, would their parents buy it? No way. Similarly, Lord Krishna would give you certain bite-sized doses of things that you may not want to see in your life. But there is always good behind his actions. Yeah? So this is what we're saying, that there are ways of neglect the useless information and focus on the useful one. And start your today in bhakti. Like today you are spent nearly 40 minutes, half an hour listening to Srimad Bhagavad Gita class. So you can actually that is a start. Your relationship with Krishna has started already. And think how lucky you are. How many people do you think are there in London alone? Never even mind about going to India. Sorry, Eva? 1 billion? 1 million, okay? Maybe, I'm sorry, but I don't really know the answer. I'm so sorry, I should know the answer. But I'll say a lot. That's not wrong, is it? There's a lot of people. But how many are present here? Is it because not too many? It's only a handful of us. Why? Because Krishna chooses who can come. And a lot of people come, but then they don't sit. They don't take darshan. They're preoccupied in their mind. So Krishna doesn't allow them to. So be very grateful to Krishna that he's allowed you to come here. Not only he's allowed you to come, he's also allowed you to spend time here. And what Krishna is saying is, if you do my bhakti, that would purify your mind, intelligence, ego, your senses. You don't have to go through all this convoluted, different ways of sacrifices, yogas, this, that, the other. Very simple way Srila Prabhupada's given us, because what Srila Prabhupada's given us is come from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I mentioned to you who was listening. Who is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden avatar? A combined form of? Yes, Eva. Radharani, yes. What do you think? Do you remember that? Yeah. So Radharani and Krishna, hence the reason, because Radharani was tapta kanchange gorangi. She had molten golden, her complexion. And that's how Krishna has become in mood of Radharani, to see what she sees in him. So that's what we want to do. So we want to actually focus and neglect useless things. And how do we do it? By doing bhakti. Your relationship, I mentioned, has already started, whether you like it or not. Sorry, guys, you are sold out to Krishna, because you will find now, you will automatically, for more classes, you would automatically want to come, sit here and listen. Even though you would have worked hard, you would still want to come, because there'll be some attraction that's going to bring you for darshan of Krishna. And this is the special place, because Srila Prabhupada's been here only 3 centuries ago, right? So there is that potency of bhakti. And when we want to do bhakti, he has given us 4 things. Rajesh, what are the 4 regulated principles? No, slightly louder. You everyone listening? Could you hear Rajesh Krishna? This is now he tells me off. He has to tell me off. He's a lot louder. Go on then.
No gambling, no meat eating, no intoxication, no dissipation.
Yeah, so if you are not going to be intoxicated, guess what would happen? You've got everything to lose, yeah? You won't be mad. You won't be senseless. If you're not intoxicated, what would happen to you? Your life is going to become good. You're not going to be drunkard. Police is not going to catch you. Your money is not wasted in alcohol. And then no gambling. You're not losing your money. You're not anxious. Oh, will I ever win? Right? And then no meat eating. I mentioned about air. Rajesh Krishna taught yesterday. When our body eats meat, and we know meant to, it has a different action in our body, and that it displaces air in different ways. Your body is difficult and different than what is meant to be. And no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling, and no illicit sex. So we are going to be sincere people, married to our spouses, and there is no room for cause or fights, the quarrels or anything. So automatically, when you go to Krishna, when you come to Krishna, what's Krishna doing? He is making sure he takes all our distresses. It's not nice, is it? If I was the person who you came to me and all the time I said, Krishna, this, that, the other, but Krishna is so kind, he doesn't mind. He wants to take our distresses away. And hence the reason when we come, we think, mandir. When we come in temple, we feel at peace. Because all our anxieties, all our kuntas, it's all been taken by Krishna. So that's what Krishna does. And in return, by following regulated principle that Srila Prabhupada gave, we save our money, because we're going to be eating healthy foods. We say, no onion, no garlic, offer food to Krishna. Because you can't offer food to Krishna if it's got onion and garlic. And as a Punjabi, I was gutted when I heard this. I said, what? No tea, no onion, no garlic. How do I make my sabji, man? Rajma, pindiya, partha. How can you make partha? I don't know if you know the aubergine partha. If any of you are Punjabis, it's made up of lots of onions. But I kid you not, you get a higher taste, believe it or not. You don't miss these things, because there's so many alternatives. We use hing, ginger, it's quick, it's healthy. And now my curries are, everyone, like I work with some English people, when I take some, they say, oh Van, your curries are so tasty. And I think to myself, no, you wouldn't say that if you went to a restaurant and they served you this without. But they love it, because we've offered it to Krishna. How many people love prasadam when it's served here? Good. So remember that your relationship to Krishna starts, your sacrifice starts. You're going to make some time to chant the holy names. We're going to finish the class by putting our hands up because Aarti is going to happen any minute. And thank you very much, guys, for coming and keep coming. And any problems, you can always see me outside. Let's just do the whole thing we say. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So thank you again and give a big round of applause to all of you, please. And let's just thank Bhagavad Gita as it is ki. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki. Guru Maharaj ki. Thank you. And Hare Krishna.
Not right today, up to here, and not beyond this, because the person is singing or speaking. Nobody's here. Coming. Okay. Nobody doing it? I'll ask somebody.
Can you sing the Gora? Can you sing the Gora?
What is the tune?
The Gora.
Yeah. We can sing Namo. No, we can sing together.
You can sing the Gora. that's at the end.